Hello, Capricorn. My name is Kristen Simone Hansen, and welcome to Sea Goat Secrets. Okay, so Capricorn, I want to make this video about the Aquarius full moon happening right now. And you've been feeling this energy for the past 3 days, heightened today, and you're going to be feeling it for the next 3 days after. The energy of the new moon, or the lessons of the new moon, usually prolong for about like a week or two after the fact, but the emotion in itself, the pressurized chemistry of it all happens within the three-day spectrum. Usually for me, actually, it's funny, I used to be the kind of person where leading up to the full moon, I was always in a really intense emotional state, mainly due to my own Cancer placements. Nowadays, as I've developed a lot more emotional muscle, I tend to usually feel it after the fact. It kind of creeps up on me the second day, third day moments when it's the clarity and the emotions kind of overwhelm me a little bit. So funny how that happens. Nonetheless, let's get into this. So big conversations pertaining to your money or around your money. How you spend it, how you navigate it, how can you make more of it? That's the biggest thing that's running through your mind. How can you stabilize your finances and get yourself out of any financial situations that you are not comfortable with? So it could be that you are more interested in ending subscriptions that you have, closing out debts, leaving your job. How can you better your business? You could also be looking at how you can increase your business's footprint, meaning how you can better serve your clients or your customers, and how is it that you can generate more through a space that feels less resisting. So that is where a lot of the change may happen in terms of how you navigate these finances and what it is that you will do with them. So full of these ideas, navigating through your mind. Also looking for community assistance. So it could be, like I was saying, reaching out to getting a new position. How is it that you can talk to various institutions about some of the new financial structures that you want to create for yourself? If some of you are going through any kind of debt issues, reaching out to various institutions and programs or people that can help you navigate getting out of those situations. Also, again, you're looking at how you can better feel financially comfortable. So whatever it is that you're going through now, you're thinking, okay, how can I get more? How can I feel even more, as I like to equate, your money is like being in the center of a lake. And how can you expand that body of water more and more and more, so you are really submerged in it and not feeling like you're scarce or like you're too much of what it is that you have is going in the wrong direction and not in the right direction. You really want to feel as fluid and as abundant as possible. You're feeling very innovative. A lot of ingenuity is moving through you, per usual, because Aqua is in your second house of money and finances, and you are very good at coming up with ingenious ways to navigate your finances. But right now, in this very moment, with all of the other trends that's happening, you are really inspired to do things differently than you've done them before, and to create really stabilized new structures to close out the karma of things you've done in the past. And karma does not have to mean anything negative. Karma is simply as it is. So it could be things that you were passionate about before that you are no longer interested in, things that you were tied to, subscriptions you were tied to, debts that you were tied to, programs you were tied to. You're closing those things out in order to create something new. Full completions, big endings happening during this full moon. Fullness around financial obligations, end of the new I'm sorry, end of the, I'll get to this in a second, actually. I'm going to keep going with the financial side before I step into the other side pertaining to your health and your relationships. So you look back on this last 6 months and see where it is that you started 6 months ago, and look at it look at where you are with things now. So what did you invest in then? What were some of the plans that you had for yourself then? What were some of the ideas that you thought would work for you? Where are some of the places that you thought you would be? Or it could just be, what mistakes did you make around that time that you're now looking at and you're saying to yourself, okay, how can I fix this now? How can I be better with this now? I'm so annoyed because the light was fine. It's almost, I just feel like me and this light with the sun. It's just, it never, I don't like to speak things that I do not want. But up until this point, I feel like it has not worked on my side or in my favor. And let's just put out that it will work in my favor moving forward. But anyway, so reevaluating the last 6 months and seeing what decisions you have made, what mistakes did you make that you don't want to make again, and how is it that you can better expand on the goals that you've set for yourself. And also pat yourself on the back for some of the things that you were able to achieve during the 6 month threshold. Again, like I was saying, awareness of clients, shared resources, and endings. Where is it that your resources are going? Where is your money going? I do suggest that go into your financial profile and really take control over where it is that your finances are going. Are there things that that no longer need to be invested in? Things that no longer need your attention? Things that are simply draining you, right? Stocks that you should end and then invest somewhere else for the new future, for what it is that you're trying to create for yourself now. A lot of returns on investments. So things that you've invested in are coming back. This moon is very serendipitous for you just because of the transits going on. So you might find yourself with some kind of luck. It could be a windfall. It could be, again, assistance. It could be a callback that you were waiting for. There's a lot of serendipity going on with this moon for you. And the universe has definitely heard your calls in terms of what it is that you desire the most. As I was saying, paying down any debts, and that also is pertaining to relationships, but I'm going to get to that in a second. Finally able to connect with the right people. Let me get back to that. Focused on what brings you joy and pleasure and investing more in those things than things that do not. Making more of a powerful impact with what it is that you do with your work. You really want to see yourself grow and evolve with your work. You're feeling very proud of what it is that you do, where it is that you want to go, and these new ideas that you have been putting out, and you really want to see them flourish and connecting on a deeper level with people more than you have up until this point. You also are aware of the fact that it's not about what you know, it's about who you know. And you really want to do more with what it is that you already have and understand how those things can expand and grow through simple socialization. And you're really focused on your gifts, your natural talents. If you weren't before, there's going to be an awareness of what it is that you're good at. You're really opening yourself and awakening yourself to the things that make you confident. So many of you are going through a bit of a revival. You're erasing a lot of the insecurities that you once have. Obviously, in order to erase them, they have to come up to the surface. You have to become aware of them in order to get rid of them. But you're addressing those things, those spaces where you feel voided, or you felt like you weren't enough, or you felt like you weren't good enough. You're looking at those things, and instead of wallowing in them, instead of getting stuck or lost in them, transition them and say to yourself, okay, this is where I am now, and this is where I want to be now. And how can I look at where I have been, and how can I use my alchemy to create something different now? So if you're remembering times when you felt insecure, or like you lacked abundance, or you didn't know necessarily what it is that you were doing, saying how it is that you wanted to navigate, or financial mistakes that you had made, mistakes that you made in your friendships and your connections, those things are coming up to the surface, not to bury you, but to help you understand how to be better right now. It's not about who you've been, it's about who it is that you can be and what it is that you can create, and most importantly, doing things differently. The thing about the aqua moon, especially for everyone really, it's about how can you go against the grain and test the narrative of things that prior were things that you were used to, or your comfort zones. How can you step out of your comfort zones and embrace a more innovative approach? Expand on your past successes and seeing how they can evolve more in the future. And you're aware of who you value, what you value, and as I was saying, you're healing your money sector. So this is it when it comes to your finances. As I said, you're bringing in more authenticity, more of you, your awareness of who it is that you are and the value that you hold to people, to your clients, to your customers. For many of you, it's not, you're doing things differently pertaining to how you look at yourself and your relationships. But when it comes to your work, it's actually about seeing the value of what it is that you've done up until this point. Talents that you naturally have, abilities that you've always had. It's about taking those things out and showing us really what you've got and bettering what it is that you already have going on, because you guys are so naturally unique, authentic, and you are often the blueprint for most things, you know? So it's all about putting in that confidence and bringing back the old into the moment, refining it, and then giving it a little bit more traction, sharing it, socializing, connecting. How can you better connect? How can you better share? Getting on social media through technology, going out, meeting more people, different things like that. Now, when it comes to your relationships in this moon, the past is rearing its ugly head. Less for you than it is for other signs, but the past is definitely rearing its ugly head. You are aware of your past relationships, things that have went wrong, things that have went right. In your love relationships and your friendships, some of you might find that some people are leaving your life. Random disconnection, so it could be relationships randomly ending, friendships disappearing, people ghosting you, you ghosting others. There is a hyper awareness of what it is that you really want out of your life and what you won't settle for. You're no longer in a settling mindset. So if someone leaves your life, good riddance. If you need to disconnect from someone else, make sure you do it with grace and you exit left. It is not about you being the giving tree or overdoing it or lugging people up the mountain anymore. You cannot afford that. And what it is that you're seeing right now with the second house is all about your values and your worth and your money. Really, those things are just reflective of you, right? How you value you and what it is that you will tolerate. Your high tolerance level for things that did not serve you and people that did not serve you, most importantly, did a number on you, and they affected you in a very negative way. You are aware of this right now. These things are moving through your subconscious mind. So they can show up in the physical, where you have an old person in your life trying to re-enter it. It could show up where it's a literal person trying to exit, or it could just be running through your mind where you're thinking about things that took place in the past, things that wounded you in the past, what it is that you will not do again, and the awareness of how those things directed you in a place that you were not happy with, how they made you feel drained of your value, your worth, and your abundance. So yeah, so I think that's it for this new moon, this full moon. It's intense, it's a super moon. So as I said, there's a lot going on with your connections, mostly in terms of your friendships. But with Leo moving through Venus, you also are going to be aware of exes. It's going to be deeper when the Leo new moon takes place, but the full moon is all about endings. So exes, old relationships are on the mind, what you can learn from them, what you will not repeat. Friendships are showing themselves as well, and you in your circle, you are cleaning out what serves and what does not serve. And other people, like I said, it's a blessing if they leave your life. It just means that you didn't have to do it yourself, okay? So that's that for the aqua new moon, or the aqua full moon. We are going to get into the reading. All right, so Capricorn. If you can see that. Got the Page of Wands, Eight of Cups in reverse. Oh, there's some pain going on. There's definitely some pain that you're addressing during this full moon. And it's pertaining to the past. Oh, wow. Okay. So it's interesting because during a majority of this reading, I was talking about your career and I was talking about your finances, and I briefly touched on romance and love and your connections. But as I was saying, in the collective, for the most part, this Aqua Full Moon transit is a lot about the past for everyone. And by the past, I also mean relationship karma. We have some people who are, the whole ex conversation is a thing as well. And old friendships, ex-colleagues, etc. Your second house, yes, is about your worth and your finances, but Aqua is still about connections. And that seems to be what's on your mind the most. Right now, the subject pertaining to what it is that's running through your mind is this inability to let go. You're feeling blocked. You're feeling stuck. You're feeling like you can't move on. You're really addressing a lot of subjects about what it is that you feel chained to. You want to move forward, but you feel like it's not possible. You want to start new, but you feel like you can't. There are a lot of things about the past that are on your mind, and they're feeling like a block. They're feeling like a strain, like you're feeling wounded and trapped. Your healing point here is the sacred scar, and it's all about understanding how to pretty much move through pain and to value the pain that it is that you have gone through and transcend it. But again, pain is the focus here. There is a lot going on inside of you, and dare I say, it have to do maybe with some of you, especially if it's love, it has to do with a fiery energy, an immature, emotionally immature, fiery energy. But outside of that, it could also just mean that on a grander scale. So times that you may have felt abused or overridden, or you were dealing with large groups of people that might have been immature when you felt like you were being burned, you felt like you were being attacked. You could be going through different times in your life that made you feel, I don't know why, but abandoned is just the word that keeps coming to me. In the shadow, we have the Five of Wands with the Magician. And so here we have fights, conflicts, manipulation, control. When was it that someone else's control over you was able to govern something in your life that you felt like was out of your control? Other people, situations, institutions, a person in particular, you're feeling like you're remembering the times that created this scar that's going on inside of you. And it's creating a bit of a block. That block is affecting you emotionally, it's affecting you financially, it's affecting you when it comes to your self-worth. The advice here is the power of attraction. Knowing who it is that you are, knowing your value, and attracting what it is that you desire the most, the things that will heal these wounds that are going on inside of you. And also, I think, replaying the memories that are running through your mind differently. At what point are you remembering things in a way that is wounding you more than you need necessary? There's something about your personal power that you're not acknowledging, that you're not paying attention to. You are feeling bound, you are feeling restricted. You want to move on, you want to move forward, you want fresh newness, you want this new beginning, you want to feel free, but you're feeling bounded. And that boundedness is coming from this confrontational, manipulative, someone else's impulses, other people were able to create this scar for you, and it's leaving you feeling like you don't know how to leave it in the past. Your inner and outer scars are marks of your soul's courage. They are signs of strength and survival, out of your willingness to be alive. The sacred scar speaks of which once caused pain, being transformed into higher knowledge and inner power. Trauma shall be transformed through spiritual initiation, leading you from woundedness to wisdom. You have nothing to be ashamed of. You can trust your healing process and in the hidden higher purpose behind things happening as they do. You are strong and shall flourish on all levels. Yeah, there's a lot of pain going on inside of you. This Eight of Cups, along with this clarification here, you're really, really reminiscing on the past hurts, past pains, and it doesn't feel like it's the past because it's right now. It's something that feels like you still haven't moved on from it. You still haven't been able to transcend it. It just feels like pain. It just feels like difficulty. You're feeling bound by energies outside of you and their ability to create your life for you. You're feeling a bit powerless, stuck, codependent, either on a person, place, idea, or thing, or a memory. That ball and chain energy. But as I said, the advice here is to understand what it is that makes you valuable. You still have this passion in you, especially for those of you who it is about love. You still have the ability to attract what it is that you desire. Whatever it is that made you feel like you were not enough, that made you feel bounded or hurt, you still have it in you to create what it is that you desire the most, to get up and do it. There's also attraction happening here anyway. So yes, you are aware of these things and they're moving through your subconscious. But all the while you are going through this process, there are things that are being laid out for you that are working in your favor. So what it is that you desire the most is ultimately, you're attracting it to you through this healing process. Through this transcendence of the way you are approaching this past pain, there are things that are forming for you, and you need to understand that. You're not actually blocked. It's a perception. But the perception is helping you in this moment because whatever it is that it's doing for you, it's transcending it. And it's teaching you how to be better, be stronger, love yourself deeper. And that is ultimately bringing in what it is that you desire the most, that is going to lift this void and move you forward. All right, so breathe deep, Cap. That's a heavy moon. It's a super moon, you know? So drink a lot of water, breathe deep, and let the feelings move in and out of you. It's okay to have memories come up. Okay, so I love you. Ciao. Or ciao.